Hello Capricorn, I'm Empress Rose and welcome to this week's reading. This is a general reading, so take what works, leave what doesn't. And all of my cards are very thoroughly pre-shuffled. I like to spend a lot of time preparing them. And so that's a little boring to watch. So we're going to start with the Oracle of Mystical Moments. I take an intuitive reading of these cards and they sort of give us a direction for the rest of the reading. Okay, we need a message for Capricorn. That's so useful. What does Capricorn need to know this week? All right, we got 3 right off the bat. They want you to know some things this week. All right, we have like a bird. I was actually dreaming about this card, or saw something with this card, and it feels like there's a real angel vibe here, and there's a real angel vibe here. But anyway, this angel is holding something back. This is a holding back. There's sort of an eagerness. Oh my gosh, there's something that needs to be said that you want to say. Look, she's holding on to the bird's throat. We've got a blue, that's the throat chakra. We've got this holding back communication that really wants to fly, really wants to go somewhere. But actually you're kind of soothing it. I see a real you're not like, hold up there, terrible bird. You're like, it's okay. It's okay. Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it right now. We're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. We don't have to say this right now. So that's the vibe I'm getting from this. You're being very angelic, very good, and not saying everything that you would like to say right now. We have touched the sky. This is a sort of head in the clouds. Again, we have birds here. They're flying around above the clouds, but there's this bird on her shoulder. So this is, again, like thinking, dreaming about something. I mean, this is like you're not just in the head in the clouds, you're way dreaming. She almost seems to be fishing for something with this hair. There's something on her mind. It's sort of a pleasant dream. She's just sort of, it's like a toying with a dream idea here. This is both of these have very peaceful vibes. This one is sort of a determined piece, and this is sort of just a relaxed playing piece, playing with ideas, keeping them mostly to yourself, but sort of toying with something. You're toying with some sort of idea. Both of them have a vibe of not moving forward, very clearly, intentionally not moving forward, and playing. And then we have Oh Sunny Day. So this is such a combination of cards, but there is like a peace in these cards. There's definitely a peace. So even though you're not communicating, maybe because you're not communicating, there's a dreamy peace to all of these cards. You're holding your peace is what I'm getting. This is really what this card is to me, is holding your peace. And then this Oh Sunny Day card, this is, the sunshine card, but her back is turned to us. I see a lot of balance in this card. I see a lot of, we can't see what she's seeing. There's not a lot of clarity, but there's a peace and a happiness. I see several cards of peace and happiness here. She's protected. She's very well balanced. There's a very yin-yang energy. A lot of spots. There's the ladybug, the mushroom, her hair, and the umbrella. So there's a real spotted vibe here. There's protection. There's almost staring into the sun. There's like a staring into the divine, really, really seeing. She's having a very private experience that we are not experiencing, and she appears to be staring into the light. Now, don't stare into the sun. But, I mean, here we have this cloud. They're looking into this cloudiness and they're seeing something clearly, though. They're starting to see something very clearly, even though it's not clear to other people. It's very clear to them. And there's a lot of peace and a lot of happiness in these cards. So This looks very promising and good. Let's go to the body of the reading in the Santa Muerte Tarot deck. Again, these have been very thoroughly pre-shuffled. I just like to do an intuitive final shuffle. All right, what does Capricorn have for this week? This is your past, this is your present. They are upside down and I don't take reversals on this deck. This is your past, this is your present, this is your internal landscape, this is the issue that you face, this is your environment, this is your to-do list, and this is your possible outcome. All right, in your recent past, you have the King of Swords. This is a master of ideas. He can handle his sword. He's been through some battles. He can hold his tongue though. You know, he doesn't have to say everything that comes to his mind. He can hold it in. He can have his ideas. He's very much in command of his communication, and that's what I'm seeing here. I see this very gentle yet firm command of your communication. So this is in your recent past. You've had to be extremely in control of communication, very much in control of your ideas, your communication, the thoughts going into your head. You've had a mastery of this. You've been in a situation that's required a mastery of communication. In your current situation, you have the Seven of Swords. So this is a waking up and understanding sort of the level of treachery or dysfunction that has gone on around you. This man went down for a nap and was buried alive, nails put in his coffin while he meant to nap. And his friends, maybe they thought it was a prank, whatever. They basically buried him. He had hope and reflection. He did a lot of reflecting in this coffin. But this is the waking up and looking around you and sort of being like, what the hell just happened? What is this? How did I get here? What's going on? So it's sort of you're really asking some questions about what's gone on, who did what. You've survived though, and you were able to get out. So you're sitting here though thinking, just contemplating about what happened, who you've been hanging out with, who your friends are. You're looking at this King of Swords guy, and maybe you're looking back at that somehow, this masculine energy that had so much power over their words and over their ideas, and you're looking back at that. Maybe that was you before this coffin, maybe you. And now that you're like this grizzled old man coming out of this coffin, just sort of like, what year is it? How long did that go on? How did I get into this situation? So you're coming out of that. In your internal landscape, we have the spark of inspiration, a passionate spark of inspiration. This is the Five of Wands. So this is time. I'm getting this again, this vibe of looking in this darkness, seeing something. You have lit a spark and you're really looking around at some of the darkness that surrounds you. Maybe some of the darkness that's within you. Maybe this burial was a little internal. And you're looking and you're in this space and you've sort of put on the light switch, but we don't have light switches in this deck. We have matches. So you've lit a match and you're starting to see where you're at. Where you're at. You're getting the lay of the land. And this is some sort of inspiration. This is some sort of light that you have created, that you have sparked, and it's helping you to see the world around you and to see into the place where you are and the place where you live. So you're looking, you're observing. You now have the means to observe sort of your internal landscape and who you are from the inside and who you are at a really deep level the level where we don't decide, where we don't really control that level. It's this understanding of who you are on the inside, who you were born as, who you came here as. And you're starting to look at that and really see into that and really understand that. So there's a sense of understanding happening in both your present situation and your internal landscape. There's a sense of really understanding, the situation that you're in externally, and also the situation that you're in internally. And you're starting to get an idea of sort of the, the cave you've entered, and what is this, and what does this look like? I got in here, I'm inside this deep, dark place inside me. And now you're looking at, you're able to look around a little bit and see what this innermost part of you looks like. The issue that you're facing is communication. So I find that very funny right here. This communication here, there's a lot of communication that is either going to happen and overwhelm you, or is happening, or you need to give. This kind of looks like you need to communicate, and you need to do it well. There's a lot about communication here in your recent past, in this like a bird. There's a lot of communication, and this might be the urgency that this one is holding back on, and this one has control over. This is this urgency of maybe it's too passionate. Maybe your communication is too passionate, and you need to calm it down. So this is something that's blocking you. The issue that you're facing right now is a communication issue, and it has to do with like intensity or volume or something like that, that's making it more difficult, that's causing the situation to be more difficult than it really is. So what's funny is I'm getting such a different vibe from these places, and maybe this one is similar to this light of your like just kind of dabbling in this like other world that you don't usually go into, this interior place maybe, and you're kind of fishing around in there trying to see what's in there. I see like a similar kind of, it's very tenuous connection, but it's there. And then in your environment, you have this Knight of Wands. There's a lot of wand energy going on here. This guy is the charge forward. He's been in battle maybe a little too long. I sense a little bit of PTSD here. He can't leave the battle behind, and he's constantly wanting to charge forward, move forward. So that's in your environment. There might be a situation where everyone around you is like, and the whole situation is like, move forward, everybody go to battle. And that's what's going on around you. Inside, you're having this like quiet contemplative moment of like, what is this chamber inside me that is new to me? And I'm just discovering something. And this is this energy all around you that's like, move forward, pack the car, let's get going, let's move, let's do this, do that. And so that's all around you, is this like frenetic energy. Like the Knight of Wands, I like to think of the knights as like really masters of one thing. So they have this like, to me, they have this imbalanced energy, and they're really good at one thing. And this one is really good at just charging forward. And that's either someone in your environment or the environment you're in. That what they have mastered is that inspiration energy, that initiative. They've got that mastered. They don't have all the other pieces, but this is what they're charging for it. So they're really good at charging for it. So there's someone around you in your situation, in your environment, who's really good at charging forward and really wants to do that. And here you are in this sort of contemplative, I just want to hang out right here for a little bit while, but you're having, and I feel like this Eight of Wands is coming from this Knight of Wands of just this like, charge forward, move forward, it's time to go energy. And I feel like, with this, like you waking up from the coffin, you sparking the match in this sort of new inner chamber to yourself, I just feel like you're in more of this, wait a minute, I've got to look around. I've really got to think about what I'm doing. And you're enjoying thinking about where you're at. You're enjoying this, like, contemplative space, and it's jarring with what's going on around you. And then you have this to-do list. This is 10 of Pentacles. So this is, in this deck, it's so different. So but it makes so much more sense to me than the Rider-Waite deck. It's a completion. It's a farm that's completely depleted. You've gotten everything you can get out of the situation, everything. And all of the money, all of the family, all of the security, everything you can get out of the situation. And it's time for a new dirt, new grounding, a new place to ground. So your to-do list is to sort of work on this transforming of coming to this understanding that where you've been is no longer has come to some sort of completion. Like it's no longer the thing that is going to sustain you going forward. It has sustained you as much as it possibly can. It's the completion of a whole cycle. And so this is you need to transform this. You need to find the new farm, the new dirt, the new grounding area. You need to find that new place. You need to transform. It's time to and the 10 of Pentacles talks a lot about money and physical places and physical things. So there is like a sense of transforming something that is very real to you, is very physical to you, and that home, that place, that financial situation, this is the sort of pivot to something else, because this is a dead end now. The road went as far as it could go. You traveled that road all the way to the end, and it's time for this, and it's time for you to pick up your feet and find a new place somehow. So that's your to-do list, is to engage in physical transformation of your physical environment somehow. So it sounds sometimes these cards are a little like dramatic and exaggerating. So this is just like something in your physical environment has given you everything it can give you. It's done everything it can do. And that can be smaller things and that can be bigger things. So and then a possible outcome we have is the 10 of Swords. This is another we have the King of Swords here. So this is another transformation. This is your to-do list is to transform something in your physical environment, and the possible outcome is to transform your communication. So there are a lot of communication things here. We have the swords, and this is going to be transforming your communication. These swords are now piercing the ground. They are no longer battle ready. They're ideas that have outgrown their usefulness, and you're transforming these swords, these communications, these ideas will be transformed into something new. They'll be completed. They'll have done and everything they came to do. There'll be no more need for this communication, no more need for these ideas. They will be sort of, I'm getting a graveyard vibe from here. These swords, these words, these communications are going to be transformed into headstones. I don't mean that creepy. I mean that like lay to rest in peace. The situation, the words, the communication is going to find some peace and some rest, and will be completed. So that's one of your possible outcomes. So Capricorn, I hope that this was useful to you. I hope that you got something that you can use for your week ahead as you move forward. And as always, I'd love for a subscription, a like, a comment. It really helps my little baby channel grow just a little bit more each week. And I really appreciate that. So I hope you have a wonderful week, Capricorn.